In that last passage, one of the things that's quite interesting is he starts by talking about freedom. The way he ends, it says, what we're all fighting for in the end is each other.
What do you think that means?
Well, I think in that respect, I think Shaara, who had himself been a soldier, understood that a lot of what motivates people to fight is not ideology; it ends up being their comrades.
Yeah.
And but what Chamberlain does, I think, in this passage or Shaara making Chamberlain talk, is he combines both. There is this kind of a broader case about freedom and about the nature of the United States, and he brings that to we're all fighting for each other, which is really something that I think is the case quite frequently independent of the cause that you're fighting for.
I think that's right, but earlier in his reflections on America and why it's different to fight for America, he appeals to the universal principle that all men are equal, and he's fighting to free human beings, which means, he says, he concludes there, he's fighting for himself.
He's doing both. Mm-hmm. And he understands, I think, the power of both.
But fighting for each other would then mean that we're fighting for all men. We're fighting for all humankind.
I don't know. I mean, this is a guy who's very conscious of he's a Maine man. He's very conscious of the tribal tie.
But he's also very conscious of the universal American principle.
And when he bends down to pick up the dirt, he says, this is free dirt all the way to the Pacific. In other words, you begin by taking the Maine men and the Maine tie seriously. And these are men who wouldn't fight except for Maine men. In fact, not even with Maine men altogether, but only with the second Maine. That's who they signed up for. He's in a way showing them that they belong to a cause which is a national cause, and not merely a national cause, but a universal cause in the way in which Amy is saying. And the final remark that we're fighting for each other is not, it seems to me, what is commonly said today, that people in the Army, when you really want to know why they fight, they're fighting for the guy in the foxhole next to them. It's not, we're fighting for ourselves as fellow soldiers. We're fighting for each other because of an idea, the idea that all of us have value. I think there is a sense that we brothers here, but it's not we brothers in battle only. The decisive sense of the brotherhood here is the brotherhood of man, understood as equally worthy.